It's it's May 15th, 2017.
If we say the dates, then we got to start posting them the next day. Otherwise, they're like, why is this 8 days old?
Well, that's what I mean. It's May 15th. It's totally
I
May
fucking
15th
forgot what day
today.
it was. Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
how could you forget?
Because I'm an idiot.
Hello and welcome to episode 6
Of the Unreasonably... God damn it.
Okay. Hello. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hello and welcome to episode 6
Of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. My name is Eric.
And I'm Gary.
And today we have a special episode. We're going to start off with something that's on Gary's tits.
Yeah, so something, I don't know if I've got to come up with my own phrase. I'm not
big on this tits thing.
I'm not going to repeat that. Something that really gnaws my teeth.
Gnaws your teeth. Yes, that's a vivid image.
Isn't that what you do with the teeth? You gnaw them?
No, you grind your teeth. You're like...
Why did I think of... Okay, anyway. Something that is on my teeth.
Okay, yes. Let's go with that.
So I've found that when I'm instant messaging someone, whether it's on Facebook, texting, whatever, that I'll say something that, let's say, is not sarcastic.
Sure.
And they take it as sarcasm.
Sure.
And I immediately, like I can sense that from what they reply, it's like that they think that I'm being sarcastic or I'm being an asshole or whatever the fuck. And I wasn't. And so it really frustrates me when something like the intent that I had behind a message is misconstrued, and there's it can lead. I mean, the best case scenario is just you say, no, I didn't mean that. And they're like, okay. But the worst case scenario is you lose a fucking friend over a huge argument over a fucking text message. And it shouldn't be, that shouldn't happen. It's absurd, the extreme level of escalation that can occur after an argument through text.
Sure.
When really we're not meant to communicate through text. That's how the majority of human social interaction should happen.
Yet how much of it do we do?
90% now.
Yeah.
It's emails at work, text messages with your spouse or girlfriend, and then all your other friends you talk to on Facebook, Messenger. Or Google Chat or whatever the fuck. So it's we've created this construct of communicating through text, but text is
a limited
less than ideal way of communicating. So
you just put that in the most diplomatic way possible. That is a less than ideal way of doing what I would like to do. not this is fucking bullshit. This is lazy.
That's my way of saying it's fucking bullshit.
No, so I mean, to give a little context to what you're talking about, I think I know where you're coming from. Generally speaking, it'll be somebody will say, "Hey man, we're all gonna go do this and this and this and this," and you're invited, and you go, "Okay," and your way of saying "okay" is "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
And they take that as, well, fuck, man. If you don't want to go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And so everyone, like you said, that's my way of saying, I just say, okay. Like you said, hey, I'm going to be over to record and whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm sounds good. I say sounds good all the time. But say I meet a new friend and we hang out a bunch of times, we get to know each other. But then he's I'm coming over and I say, sounds good. It's well, okay, I thought you already knew, and whatever, and then suddenly we have an argument because I say sounds good instead of you who says great or whatever.
Yeah, the one word difference.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario though is you meet a girl and she sends you a text along the lines of, "Hey Gary, I'm gonna come over later and take my clothes off," and you're like, "Sounds good."
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's it? Fucker.
Yeah. So
Delete me on Tinder, Gary.
dating is a whole other thing too, because like, oh my God, dating is a whole other thing. Like, I remember in high school, like my first real girlfriend, I went from sending like 2 to 5 text messages a day to sending like 250. Yeah. We did that thing where it was like, we would just alternate asking each other a question.
Sure.
And like, I remember playing COD and like picking up my phone every time I died and like responding to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
It was absurd. It was like, why weren't we sitting in a park having a picnic and talking face to face? Like, it was so stupid.
But no, that's the thing is it all depends on the context of the situation, the conversation that you're taking place in,
and the age,
of course, the age, the maturity, yes,
yeah.
But with some people, that it's literally that easy. It's just okay, cool, sounds good. All right, talk to you later, done. Mm-hmm. That being said, a lot of times you kind of base it off of who the person is and the way that they handle certain situations. Now, we have a similar group of friends. You have some friends that aren't my friends. I have some friends that aren't your friends. But for the most part, we have a pretty similar group of friends. Or at least we have one group that we both talk to regularly. And there are people in said group that you can tell the level of sarcasm or snark based on
the context.
Yeah, and it's literally, and this is the easiest one for me to pick up. Haha, H-A-H-A. Okay, some people do haha, some people do LOL. I used to use LOL, but I can't do it anymore because I worked at a place with a bunch of nerds and they started saying LOL after everything.
Out loud? Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like, oh, that was really funny. LOL.
That was a thing in high school when I was in high school and I was just, yeah.
Yeah, oh, exactly. When you were in high school. These were 22, 25, 30-year-olds saying fucking LOL.
That's ridiculous.
You don't have to say, you can just laugh. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fucking hard. So I basically said, well, if they're going to keep saying
it's like
lol,
post laughing or something.
Yeah, or
like,
going, no.
Instead of laughing, in the future, we'll just go lol.
Yeah. Or this one fucking, oh God, this one pisses me off. When somebody goes, okay, I'm going to go grab a beer. BRB. You're using the exact same fucking number of syllables. You can't just say be right back.
Be right back is also.
I hope you fall down the stairs. I hope on your trip to the fucking refrigerator, an alligator enters the home and eats you. Because that's where I'm fucking at. I don't know. It's fucking random as shit.
They live in Florida.
Hope a panda bear appears. No, but I don't know.
They work at the zoo. Just keep going with this.
Hope the baby chimp comes. But no, you can tell based on if they're normally a haha person or a heh person, as they'll put, and they put that single ha. They're basically telling you, go fuck yourself. See, this thing is, I'm doing what pisses you off. I'm overanalyzing, but in certain cases, I know
you're not overanalyzing. You're stating how far it's been analyzed. Like, you're not the one doing it. It's already been this. Like The Office fans, please. This is a deep cut. Please remember this. Deep cuts. Robert California is text messaging Jim about coming down to Florida and golfing.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what to respond to him, so he puts. He initially puts like 2 ha-has, right?
Was it? I mean,
2
marks.
Oh yes,
it was question marks.
Yes,
he's like, "I'll see you down here for the project?" Question mark.
Right, and he puts 2 question marks, and then Pam goes, "I don't know if you want to put 2 question marks.
Too aggressive.
That's like what?
What? And then he goes, "No, I think I'll sit this one out. I'll see you next time."
Yeah.
And what did he respond? LOL.
So it really is that ridiculous because you start with the 1 ha, which makes sense because in person you could just go, that in person you would just be like, huh, yeah, that's funny.
Exactly. In a sarcastic tone, right? Like when I hear ha,
that is funny. And there's even a difference when you add an H to the end of it. Yeah. Because then it's instead of ha, it's ha. Like okay, and then we have haha, which is just haha, that's funny.
See, for me, when I type haha, H-A-H-A, that's me going, like a very light,
that's lightly
just kind of like your almost every sentence laugh, or almost every sentence, I'm smiling as I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Now, if I think something's actually funny, add a couple ha-has to it, so it's like,
and
then a little fucking smiley face pops up on your phone.
3 or 4 ha's.
Like, where the fuck did you come from?
I don't know what that's
Goddamn
about.
smiley face.
But back up, because ha and then an H.
Yeah.
Like H is something else, because then it's like ha, and it's like and then the 3 ha's I think is pretty much like
that was funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's and then 4 ha's and 5 ha's and 6 ha's is like, wow, you found something pretty funny.
Jackpot.
Yeah.
Well, we have a couple friends that we've noticed that they may not do that, but they'll capitalize the ha's. This may be terrible radio
conversation we will ever have. This is.
Yeah. But the thing
it's
is, though,
true though. I mean,
it's 100% fucking true, and I highly doubt anybody listening has a difficulty relating to this. Now, they may not use the ha-ha-ha's, but they know exactly what we're talking about. And we know those people. We know the type of person that you'll say something you intended to be funny, and the the H-A, that to me is the most passive-aggressive fucking bullshit. You used to get in trouble. Yeah, you used to get in trouble for saying K. Right? Not okay, but just the letter K.
It's turned into this whole thing. Have you seen that subreddit?
The video? There's a whole video about when you just type back K.
Oh, like a sketch video? No, there's this whole subreddit where they make these K GIFs. Have you seen those?
Oh, God.
Sorry, GIFs. It's an old habit. They make these K GIFs.
Yeah.
Yeah, like where it's like they'll superimpose
K
into like a movie scene where someone's reading a letter or something.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But that was never my intention.
No,
like,
I know.
It was just like, okay, like it wasn't like K.
See, that's the point is you don't know unless you know, but somebody else could be using it in that context and it kind of gets projected on you, which is unfair. But
that's the thing, projecting.
Yeah.
I think that's like what the issue is. I think what happens is when you're texting on your phone or typing on your computer and Facebook, like you're just alone reading what this other person has said.
Yeah.
You're by yourself, you're in your own thing.
Sure.
It's not a real life conversation where you're talking to that person and you can see their facial expressions, you can hear their inflection. There's so many things that you lose over text. And so what will happen for most people, I don't think anyone can say that they're good enough not to do this.
Yeah.
They'll project their own meaning onto other people's words,
of course,
what other people have written to them.
Absolutely.
So like they'll just basically texting or instant messaging someone is always hearing what you want to hear or what you expect to hear.
Yeah, you're basically creating a scenario in your head and of how that person is intending to say things back.
So what you have is you have like a Venn diagram of this person giving context to it, this person giving context to it, and the middle is just lost in like cyberspace. Like
pretty much
no one knows what they like, what actually is going on in the conversation.
Well, unless you really know the person
going on.
Yeah, like I mean, I have friends of mine that I know that they are going to get my sense of humor through my text because they've known me long enough to know when I'm actually bothered by something, or if I'm just being a schmuck. But I think what started this is there's so much passive aggressive shit, which you know how I feel about passive aggressive. Like if you're mad, just say it. Just say I'm mad about that. Like that. I don't like that. Don't do that.
Straightforward.
Yeah. But if you're like, no, yeah, it's fine. And then you turn around, you're like, fuck you, man. It's like all you had to do is say, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, well, either I'm going to go, well, why don't you like it? Let's find are you being sensitive? And yeah, well, you can't question my feelings. Sometimes I can. Like if I actually care about a relationship, I want to know why. Because if it's just me saying, die in a fire, like in a text, I'm like, dude, go die in a fire. I don't actually mean I want you to die in a physical fire. But if me joking that way actually bothers you and you don't tell me, I'm like, is it that I'm making a joke about you dying?
Yeah.
Is it that you don't know how to, tease me back? Is it that you just don't like that kind of humor? There's so many like levels to it, and people go, well, you're just questioning you if you're gonna be a dick about it. And it's like, no, I'm actually trying to understand.
Yeah.
Like Jeff, who's written into the show, been a guest star on the show. Shout out to Jeff. He knows damn well if he says something that I'm jealous of, like, oh man, I'm gonna go eat at so-and-so place tonight. I'm like, oh dude, I fucking hope you die. He's not going to take that as, oh my God, Eric thinks I'm going to die. He'll laugh and go, yeah, with a belly full of this delicious food. So go fuck yourself. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's our sense of humor. Whereas some people, they obviously, granted, we don't always know how somebody's going to take something. I'm kind of fucking rambling. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But there are some people that you'll make a joke thinking that they get your sense of humor and they just get really quiet.
Yeah.
And then because you actually do care about them, you're like, dude, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And that there's that thing. And I think you're 100% right. It's projection more often than not. But it really boils down to our inability to discuss things on a face-to-face level. Because if we were face-to-face and somebody said something you didn't like, what are the odds that person's actually going to respond with how they feel versus all right, fine, sounds good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I think there should be like a threshold of like, of how personal a conversation is over text. And if it goes over that, you should at least call, if not talk in person. Like if you start getting into an argument and it starts to become personal and it's more about like just an issue between you than rather than just something you're talking about, then you should call them or go speak to them in person, because if you don't and you keep talking through text, you're only going to continue to box yourself into your own thinking, and you're not going to open yourself up to their views because you can't. You're not really hearing what they're saying.
Well, that's the thing is I think that's part of, as we get into like the intellectual portion of the show, is that it's we've our problem that we're discussing here isn't text versus real conversation. It's people's inability to handle confrontation now. You know, and I'm not saying, I don't know. I didn't live in the 40s. I don't know if people are better at arguing face to face in the 40s than they are now, but people are really bad about confrontation now. People can't handle it, whether it be a significant other or a friend or a job. Like if you're at a job and someone brings up a problem, people have a really hard time just being able to express themselves and say, this is what bothers me, and understand that somebody's allowed to feel differently about something than you, and not because they feel differently isn't their way of saying, fuck you, you're wrong. But that's how people take it. You know, like if you're at work and somebody's like, well, I don't really like listening to this music. What are you saying? I have bad taste in music? No, I'm saying it's holy shit, that jumped. And I've been there. Like I've literally done that where I've been like, hey,
people tend to take things personally before even like thinking it's not personal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to put that better.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. And my thought on it is there was a person in my life growing up that I'm not going to give the benefit of saying their name on here because they're not a great person, but their go-to fucking thing was perception is reality. Perception is reality. Perception is reality. And as a kid, I was like, okay, that makes sense. And as I got older, I get that that's how people feel. But then I realized that perception is your personal reality. That doesn't mean that's actually true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I laughed at something that happened and you think that's inappropriate doesn't mean the truth is that you're right and I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you walk outside and you think it smells like elderberries and I walk outside and I think it smells like strawberries, there's no right or wrong. It's our own personal reality.
Yeah.
And so this feeds into so many different things socially that we go through where people get pissed off about stuff and go, well, I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right. No, we can both be differing. You and I could actually both be wrong. And third party walks in and goes, well, actually, this is the truth.
Yeah.
And that's things we're so stuck in. I mean, a lot of it now is this environment that we get where we're all right. Nobody's wrong. Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes it's okay to be wrong.
There's been a mesh of like, there's been some sort of weird collision of opinions and facts.
Sure.
And a lot of people seem to have trouble telling the difference. Like there are things that are just, I mean, I'm not going to say this is weirdly getting philosophical, but I'm not going to say like there are no truths in the world. There are clearly things that are facts and that we all agree on. The sky is blue, whatever. I mean, but there's some fucking guy out there right now going, well, actually, the sky is black.
The sky is purple because the sky is black, but it reflects what? Oh, God damn it. Fuck you.
Anyway. Well, that's exactly it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, even the most basic things that are still like, anyway. What am I trying to say? Fuck. People, you can hold opinions.
Yeah.
That's your Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't state an opinion and have someone call you wrong. Like, it's an opinion.
You can. I think where we're at though is like right now, like you and I, we've learned from each other. Like we've known each other for 7 years now, right? Mm-hmm. When we first met, if you had an opinion on something, for example, the band Muse. Okay, we've talked about Muse at great lengths.
Yeah.
We agreed on some of their music back in the day. I feel like they fell off pretty fucking hard, and I just fucking was like, dude, I'm done. And you held on to it a little bit longer, and I'll go, I think that album sucks. And you'd be like, well, no, this album's great. And when we first met, because
album sucked.
When we first met, you didn't know me, so you're like, this guy's being a fucking asshole. He's telling me my opinion's wrong. No, I'm just stating mine. And
yes, yeah.
Yeah. And so one of the things I've learned from my wife, my beautiful, loving, very patient with me and my shenanigans wife, is that some people can't handle your opinion. Now,
especially if it contradicts theirs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I will say, I'm still growing as a person. I'd still say I have more asshole in me than I probably should. And somebody's probably picturing that, which is weird. I'm more of a jerk at times than I should be. I save a lot of pretty much all of my goodness for my girls. Like that's pretty much how it works.
Well, yeah, but the term jerk is subjective. I mean, you're passionate and you're loud. That's
usually when people hear
some people apparently that's a jerk.
Eric's a passionate and loud person. They're like, that guy's a fucking asshole. But no, but the thing is I feel like there's a big chunk of me that's still back in the day. I would say I was a larger part asshole, and as we talk more and more, as we get to episode 60, we may talk about things, from further back, but because of the life that I had, I felt differently. And so I would immediately go, well, fuck you. I don't care if you don't like my opinion. Go fuck yourself. Mm. And as time's grown on, I've learned that there are times where I can be stubborn and there's times where I need to go, you know what? Is it really worth being that guy? Like you're actually being stubborn for no reason. And it took one day of my wife telling me, hey, Eric, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. I love your opinions. I love how passionate you are. Even when I disagree, it's just fun to hear you get riled up about stuff and just go on a rampage.
Why do we have this podcast?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. She's like, but there are times where we hang out with people that you like, that you care about, and you think they're going to be able to handle your opinion, and they're actually not. So what happens is we'll all go do an activity, and I think this time we went and saw a movie, and I didn't enjoy the movie. I thought it was just crap. And
can you say what movie it is? Or not?
I can say what movie it is, but so we went and saw the movie Brave, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't enjoy Brave.
Yeah.
Okay. I had hoped, and this is not, I love Disney movies. I really do. Like, especially now that I have a daughter, it's so much fun watching all the ones that I grew up with. She's already starting to watch Toy Story and Finding Nemo.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually like watching the princessy ones from time to time because it's fun to see her get excited.
Tangled is one of my favorite.
Exactly. Tangled is in the top 5 for me now. Like, people are, oh, whatever. No, seriously. It's not because I think girls like princesses and boys like blah, blah, blah. I like them because I like to see the differing characters. I definitely think they've progressed quite a bit, but that's a whole nother conversation that I think we could get into another time. Mm-hmm. But for me, I enjoy those movies. I was really excited to see Brave because I was like, okay, was it Irish or Scottish? Scottish.
Highlanders.
So, yeah, Highlanders. So I'm like, okay, it'd be really cool. This Scottish princess, she's a girl. They don't think she's gonna be able to do stuff. She's gonna whoop some ass. She's gonna go on an adventure. Mm-hmm. She's gonna save some people. Mm-hmm. No, her mom's gonna become a fucking bear.
I didn't see it.
Her mom becomes a bear. Her mom becomes a bear.
Yeah.
Her mom becomes a bear.
That's hard to take in.
Goddamn
I have
bear.
No context, and I feel like even with context that.
Instead, it's weird. Her trying. I get it. That's about a daughter and her mom, and I get that. But I wanted her to go whoop some ass, right?
Are there even bears in Scotland?
I don't know. But
wait, 1 second before you continue. All right, I tried to look that up and I gave up because it was stupid.
Okay. So anyway, it wasn't what I expected. The animation was absolutely beautiful. The music was great. It was not what I wanted. I wanted her to go whoop some ass. I mean, they basically show that she's a badass archer, and I'm like, she's gonna go, handle some business,
Yeah, that's what I got from the trailer.
And it wasn't what it was. So at the end of the movie, we're there with a couple friends, and they're like, "Oh my god, I really liked it. I love that movie." And I was like, "What, really?" And looking back on it now, like the look on their face was like, "Geez, buzzkill." And for me, I don't think that way. I just think if somebody else goes, "Well, I didn't like that," I go, "Oh, okay, well that sucks. What didn't you like about it?" You know, we talk about that kind of stuff all the time. Like we'll have a conversation about a movie and go, "Well, I liked this. I didn't like this. Well, what didn't you like about it? This." And that's a normal conversation for us.
Yeah.
But at the time, afterwards, my wife goes, "You understand? Like they really enjoyed it, and some people are able to handle your opinions that way, and some people it actually kind of ruins their good time." And old Eric would be like, "Well, fuck, man, if you can't just be strong enough in your own opinions, then the fuck." But I understood that as, you know what, you're right. Like you're right. I need to know my audience. I need to think about how people feel. If I didn't enjoy something, is it really worth ruining something that somebody else enjoyed because I didn't enjoy it? No, of course not. And that's the kind of thing that you learn and you grow. And honestly, I give all that credit to my wife, because really before her, that wouldn't have even crossed my mind. And it's funny because not too long after that, we went and saw Lincoln, and I kept my mouth shut because I didn't like that pile of shit either.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. And I've had friends on both ends of that. Like, and I've been both on
Sure.
both ends of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can totally understand if there's like a group that's enjoying themselves, and just by someone stating like, "Well, I didn't think that movie we saw was that good."
Yeah.
It can kind of, it doesn't ruin it for everyone. If it does, then yes, you're right. It doesn't ruin it, but it puts like a different shade over, the experience. Like,
yeah, and that's really what I've learned.
It's like, oh, that's too bad that Eric didn't enjoy it when all of us did, and blah, blah, blah. And it's too bad that he didn't enjoy himself.
And then the thing is, I think that's the part that where people get a little hung up on is they think, well, I feel bad he didn't enjoy it. No, it's not your fault. You didn't make the movie.
Right, exactly.
You didn't decide to make her mom a fucking bear.
Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of separating like opinions and enjoyment and like, fuck.
And fuck.
Never mind. What were you gonna say?
But
sometimes I just lose my train of thought.
It happens,
it just
man. It
runs
happens.
right out the window.
Whatever. But that really kind of goes back to what we were originally talking about. So if you know the type of person that you're texting with, if you know the type of person that you're sending a message back and forth with, and you know how they handle conversations like that, you know if they're saying, "No, I don't want to go do that," or if they're saying, "Okay, that sounds good." You can go, "Oh, they actually that does sound good." They just put things in very simple context like that, or simple text. Or some people elaborate more. Some people are very excitable, and it's like a 9-page long thing explaining how excited they are. And some people are just like that. But you're right. It's frustrating when you're like, "No, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I meant, yeah, we're good. Like, yes, I'm excited."
Here's something we haven't talked about yet, which is what you just said. Some people will say like a few words. Some people will say a paragraph. Sure. The other limitation of texting and instant messaging is certain individuals' ability to communicate their points into written words.
Sure.
And it varies from person to person.
100%.
Like some people, they don't really know. They may even know how to say what they mean. Talking in a conversation, but they might not be able to write it down on paper.
Sure, yeah.
Or on keyboard.
Yeah.
So that can lead to another barrier where it's like they can't even hold up in an argument or a conversation because they can't express their point of view. And then there are people who do it extremely eloquently and flawlessly, and they have an advantage now. So it's just really what it boils down to, I think, is a disconnection.
Which I think we've talked about before on the podcast. We talked about how crappy we've gotten at interacting with each other on a person-to-person basis. We're at a time right now where and I think somebody said this before, it's such a cliche thing to say, but we're at a time where we are able to connect with more people than we ever have, yet we've isolated ourselves more than we ever have. Yeah. I mean, I can sit on my computer and talk to 500 people and not see a single one of them. Yeah. Whereas, back in the day, and that's the thing is, it seems like such a simple thing, But if you wanted to go talk to your friend, you either call them on the home phone, because we had those, or you drive over to their house. I mean, I loved walking over and, hey, is Nick here? Can he come play?
Oh
and then
my
their
God.
parents would be like, no, Nick's grounded right now. Hey, is Jeff ready? Dude, we're fucking running late for school, man. Oh, no, Jeff still hasn't woken up yet.
Really, those are fond memories. Just like walking over to a friend's house and like just asking parents or seeing if they're in the backyard or whatever. And it's like
you'd hear your friend in the backyard.
That doesn't exist anymore. It's hey, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Hey, I'm at your front door.
Did you get the text from the driveway?
I remember this. This will be kind of hard to. Okay, I'll tell a story.
Yeah.
I'm not fond of it. It kind of makes me feel bad, but so I was going to pick up a girl I was dating, right? And I texted her that I was outside when I got there, and her family was in town from like across the way or whatever, and so she comes out and she's like, "Hey, how's it going?" This is totally normal for us, but then she says, "Hey, so like my family thought it was kind of weird that you didn't come to the door and ring the doorbell." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, you're right. That's shitty." And I felt really bad to the point that I remember this. Like, years later.
Little things like that will eat you up forever. Mike, let me ask a quick question.
What?
Did you get out of the car when she walked outside, or did you stay in the driver's seat?
I think I stayed in the driver's seat. I mean, she'd never said anything about that before.
No, I know.
And, I mean, like, but as soon as she said it, I totally...
And then you start playing back all the times that you've done that previously?
Oh, yeah. So...
It's like when you get someone's house and you honk the horn to let them know that you're there.
Well, I've never done that.
But the thing is, like, with a friend, you'd be like, "Hey, man, I'll honk when I get there. Beep, beep." And then they'll run out. But the thing is, that translates okay with, like, your guy friends. But if you're going on a date, you don't fucking honk your horn when you get there. But hurry up. It's funny that you mentioned that because I remember a long way back, I had set up a thing to go out with a girl. And I go to pick her up. And I always was, like, I was raised the way of old school gentleman. That's just how my brain works. Like, if you ask my wife, in all honesty, how many times she's had to open her car door, not that she's not capable of opening a door. I'm not saying she's a simple lady. For any of you fuckers out there that are getting, let her open her own goddamn door. I do it because I love her, and it's my way of showing that I don't want to wait on her, but you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just part of my thing is I like to open her door for her. Mm-hmm. So I go and I get to the girl's house and I knock on the door and I'm expected to be like her walk to the door, and it's her dad. And at this time I'm 20.
Did you open the door for her dad?
24. Yeah. You come with us? But he opens the door and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Hey," and I was like, "I'm here to pick up your daughter." And I was like, "What the fuck's going on right now?" And I'm at 23, so I'm like, I'm not used to doing this anymore. Like,
wait, so you were sitting in the driver's seat?
No, I got out of the car.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I should have elaborated. I am the type of person that will open the door for my wife. Of course, I'm going to go walk up to the door. Of course, I'm going to knock on the door.
Okay, so the dad came to the door. That's what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. And so he's like, "I just wanted to meet the guy that was taking out my daughter." I'm like, "Sure." And he goes, "Honey, are you going to come meet the guy that's taking out her daughter?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" So then I'm like, it's me, her dad, her mom. She's still not out yet. And her brother walks out, and he's like 13. And I'm like a movie. Yeah, before the first date, I met her whole fucking family.
Wow.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is okay. This is intense. So he's like, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. What time you're going to have her home by? And I'm like, wow.
Wow, that's intense.
And we went on a date. It was fine. It was good. But of course, it was really fucking awkward because it's like, I'm going to meet your family before we've even gone on a date. What if...
I can't even imagine that.
What if we have a horrible date?
Yeah.
The next girl, I'm not kidding, the next girl I dated after that, because that didn't last very long, shocking, that, and it wasn't that I had a problem meeting her dad, it's just for me, like, that's a lot of pressure for a first date.
Yeah.
It's
totally unnecessary.
Yeah. Now, granted, my daughter's only 2, but when she's fucking 14, 15, 16, however old, and she has her date,
Well,
Daddy will be at the door.
yeah, it depends on age.
Completely on age.
Yeah, if you're both still in school, then it's like,
And she wasn't. She was graduated. She was.
yeah. So if you're like 23,
Yeah.
I can't imagine that happening now. Like,
Yeah.
I meet a girl on Tinder and I go to her house and her
Hey,
dad
I swiped left on your daughter. Is she here?
yeah, it's like I sent her this message. Is that appropriate?
She said she likes bad boys. Is that true? So seriously, the next girl I took out, I'm sure my wife is going to love this portion of the podcast. So we go on a date and we had like hung out like the day before because we'd known each other, but we didn't like gone on a date. And so I asked her, I was like, let's go see a movie. So we go see a movie. And at the end of the night, like I'm at her house where I'm dropping her off at home and, doing the, first night kissy thing. Mm-hmm. And, I go, okay. And she goes, yeah, do you want to come inside? And I was like, oh, maybe. And she goes, yeah, my family's in there. You want to meet them?
Oh God.
Like, what the fuck?
What's going on?
Like we're on our first date. We've kissed a little. I thought, like go in, have a drink or go in, like hang out for a little bit. Like, first date. I'm not saying.
Yeah, do you want to come inside? Does not usually follow.
And meet my parents.
Yeah.
And she, the thing is, she was 23 or 24. So I'm
Wow.
like, what the fuck is
Wow.
going on? That was
it
the
just
moment.
this one town or something? Where
This
everyone
was Sacramento, so I got the fuck out of there, man. The thing is, I'm all good with family being close and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, is it me that I think you should have 2 or 3 dates before meeting the family?
Post like 21,
right? I mean,
like even at 21, I couldn't imagine that. But
I have
24,
no idea how
what
the fuck we got on this topic.
I don't know either. But let's all the listeners who have had their family come to the door on a first date, please email us and explain to us why you think that's appropriate.
Please, if you have an interesting date story, if you have an interesting first date, worst date, best date, anything you want, email it to us. We'd love to hear it at unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com.
So yeah, overall, I'm unreasonably angry about communicating through text. I mean, it works. It works. It doesn't.
You're not going to go back to.
It's just like I said. There's a threshold of like how well it works into like where it gets shitty. So
then, maybe this is the kind of thing where we talk about this, and then we try to work more on when we're going to text someone. Fucking make a phone call. The thing is, I know lots of people don't like to talk on the phone as much as they used to, but make a phone call, even if it's a 3-minute phone call.
Yeah, that's the other thing is phone calls have become like unnecessarily like anxiety inducing. Like, oh God, they're calling me instead of texting me. I have to talk to them now. No, that shouldn't be like that.
Speaking of our dating episode, I have a couple of those that I could talk about. Fucking awkward phone calls.
Yeah. But
no, the thing is, I don't even think it's unreasonable. I mean, it is unreasonably how angry you are. But no, it makes perfect sense, and I think it's something that that we do forget, and that personal connection that we do and we have lost. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's definitely something that'll lead into some more conversations, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe it'll trigger somebody out there going, you know what? I'm not gonna text. I'm gonna send a handwritten note. I'm gonna send you a card.
Yeah, like that's better where you can like read it over 15 times. Like,
what do they mean by this?
Yeah, circled in red and like highlight parts. Anyway. So that's it for episode 6 of the Unreasonably Angry podcast. If you enjoyed it, please hit us up on Facebook, give us a like there, subscribe on iTunes, Soundcloud, Google Play, PocketCasts. The opportunities are endless. We'll be on YouTube soon too.
Jesus,
I know. I'm just spreading
everywhere,
spreading us all over the internet.
Like Gary's spreading us like herpes.
Yep,
just everybody.
Yep, and you're gonna catch it.
So until next time, I'm Eric.
And I'm Gary.
Stay angry, fuckers.